Working with Ridley is so inspiring because he knows exactly what he likes and what he doesn't like, and is never dull. So he has very strong opinion about the way he wants the character to look like, and not necessarily have to be kind of the iconic look. So apart from Patrizia and her husband, it's like they really look much like the real character. But for the rest, I think we had to be more fun to play and to take even different direction as well. So I think what he said to me, he didn't want anything boring. So this is what we did. We, actually push ourselves a bit more than the actual original character of the movie. My Bible was Vogue Italia, so I went through all the old Vogue Italia I could in time, and again, because really want something very very fashion as well, so it was very important to have massive research about all the catwalk of the time, so the Versace, the Gucci. Especially when Tom Ford, start to be, the the designer of Gucci. So was a lot about, yes, about, I think, looking at fashion and glamour magazine of the time. Paolo Gucci was very much like on him, the way he looked like. So we tried to make Jared looking very much similar to the Paolo one. And I have to say, like Goran, who was the prosthetic designer for Jared, he did an amazing job, because it's very tricky to make someone look similar to someone else without looking them a little bit funny. It's a very fine line, and he thought that he smashed it. I mean, he did so well. He looked fantastic. The beginning is like a very late Dolce Vita, so it's all very kind of matte colors, very pale, nice skin, red lips, and the classic eyeliner. And then we go through the 70s, which for me is like Studio 54. So it's all about, color, pop of color, like sparkling, glimmer, of course, a little bit of craziness. And then we go to, of course, like the 90s, late 90s, which is more like Tom Ford. And again, it totally changed, because about, like be tan and be glowing and fresh and a little bit shaggy as well. In Italy, it was a totally different kind of culture compared to the rest of Europe, because of being Catholic. So it's interesting seeing this change in Italy. And again, with Tom Ford, he usually, before of that, the woman, they have to look perfect, they have to look pretty, they have to be like in order. And with Tom Ford, they have to look sexy. And I say they look a little bit messy, but they always, there was like a shag look, is what we said. So it's interesting to see even these three different way for a woman to look like. And you can see that even on Patrizia as well. So it's interesting how she started off to be like, the typical Italian young woman. And then she becomes so strong and so powerful and so much aware about who she was. And you can see this even in her makeup and her transition, which, Sarah Tanno, who was looking after her, she did so well, and I'm very happy about it. At the very beginning, she's more like kind of natural makeup, and then slowly, slowly, especially after she goes to New York, she got like a totally change. Say, I'm here, I'm in New York, I want to have fun, I want to meet people, I want to be a Gucci, and I want to represent Gucci in a certain way. And you can definitely see how different she looked, because her makeup started to be stronger. Eyeliner is all about eyes, I have to say. Sarah, she did a fantastic job on the eyes. They are magnetic. Rodolfo was playing from Jeremy Irons, and is the odd one in the family. When I was talking to Ridley, he said to me, I really want him to look totally different from the rest of the family. So we kind of keep most of the family kind of tan, the Italian tan look. And he said to me about Rodolfo, I would like him to look very pale and very fragile, like a little flower, and like someone just living his own world. And that's what we did. So it's very interesting because it stands out so much compared to the rest, especially compared to his brother, to Aldo. It's like black and white. So it's very interesting, and it's amazing to see Jeremy and Al acting together. I mean, it's just, yes, very, very special. Aldo is the alpha man. Aldo is what you can imagine about like an Italian man is Aldo. So he's loud, he's full of energy, full of happiness. Um, when he's in the room, he's him, he's a leader. So, and I say, and he stand and he love woman. And yes, if you think about anything about the glamour of Italy in the 70s, 80s, it's him. This cast has been brilliant. I mean, when I read the cast list, I said, oh my gosh, this is just epic. And I said before, I mean, looking all acting is a gift. I have to say, it really is. I would not have thought in my life I was going to, do Al Pacino makeup and spend time with him. And it's so nice. It's always like say thank you, say hello to everybody, and he loved to have fun, and he enjoys so much what he does, and you can tell, it's incredible. We have like two different look, like a transition. So we start off with a younger Aldo, which still is like, is 60. So it's he's a man who really look after himself, and he's very vain. So he's all tan, and his hair that kind of, dye, the dye, in the kind of old school Italian way. So they're very dark, and you can see a little bit of like gray roots showing off. And it's always dressed perfectly, and it's all smell nice. Yeah, it looked very healthy, very glowing, compared to Rodolfo, which is looked like, very pale and very fragile. So it's beautiful to see them together because there's this massive contrast between the two. Looking Salman acting with Lady Gaga was incredible. I mean, the connection the two had with each other was fantastic. And, they were making up things and, found other things to say and to do. So it was very interesting. The first time we see Pina, she's actually on the television, and she'll be younger. And, she has like full on makeup on, like, that kind of 80s blush, like, like here, and a lot of lip gloss, and still she looked cool, and she looked so hypnotic as well. Hypnotized, hypnotic. So you look at her, and she's like, and she grabbed your attention so much. And this, I think, what happened to Patrizia when she looked her the first time on the television, because this is where she kind of first know about her. For Paolo Gucci, it was very important to have like a specific person looking after just him and creating just his look, because we're shooting like in COVID time, we didn't have very much time. So was happening was very tricky and definitely more complicated that it was before COVID. Um, so the right person to the job was Goran Lutmer. Is incredible. I mean, I cannot say how much incredible it is. You know, he works so hard with his team, endless hour, with a very short time to prep what he achieved. I think he did absolutely like a miracle. Because Jared wanted to come to set, fair enough, all ready, you know, with costume on and, you know, ready to go. He just want us to see him as a Paolo, which, you know, I think is pretty incredible. So, of course, his time was spread with, you know, prosthetic, hair, and costume was all together. So, you know, it was quite long, but it was all together. And I say it was incredible to see him come, you know, as a Paolo Gucci. And he was always in character. Working with Camille Cotin, which is playing, you know, the Paola Franchi, and that was very interesting because her, you know, usually she's brunette, and Ridley wanted her to be blonde like the original Paola. So it wasn't a challenge, but was interested to make such a big change on Camille Cotin, and she looked amazing. And Milan was very special to me because we shot a lot of the family, the Gucci family there, and but the most iconic part for me was the Garda when we did actually the lunch where Patrizia's been introduced to the Gucci family. So you could see the whole family together. And that was incredible because then you can see all the different characters. So you can see, of course, Paolo, and you can see his wife, which used to be an opera singer, and she was American. So you can see she's a bit different from the rest, the way she looked. And then we have, say, Patrizia tried to look more like similar to them to be accepted from the family Gucci. I always say that Ridley is the youngest director I ever met. um, I mean, his enthusiasm, his vision is contagious. I mean, he's never gonna tell you something dull. He's never gonna want to use something easy and simple. This never is cool. So you always have to be prepared for everything. But it's incredible because it really pushes you to do better, if you know what I mean. It doesn't like to play safe. You say, why you know, this is boring, I don't like this. So it is incredible. I mean, I think it really is unique. It really is. There is everything in this movie, you know, there is the drama, there is the friendship, there is the betrayed, there is the glamour, there is the fun. So you never get bored, you know, during the movie. I say when I was reading the script, even when we were shooting, I would say, I love this movie. You know, I say you're never gonna have like a dull moment during the period of time you watch the movie. You're always gonna be like this, oh my God, what's gonna happen now?